Welcome
What?
back. What? Yes, this is part 10 of Shadow of the Colossus.
It was like, the Wander's so rude.
Well, I mean,
Well, he needed to call a source.
Get a kazoo then. Might be giving away your location.
okay, which way? That way. Cool. Oh wait, there's a ravine there. Shoot.
Yeah, we'll jump.
Fly, horse, fly.
Do I look like a Pegasus to you?
I mean, if I tear off the wings from that last Colossus and put it on you,
Those were big fucking wings, though.
yeah,
Just dragging them on the floor.
all the better to fly with.
Just think of the amount of flight. They're huge.
Yeah, I'll go find some king and he'll give me a hang glider. That'll help instead.
Spoilers, jeez.
Now, I think the next Colossus is the most aggressive one. Is this the one I'm thinking about?
It's one of them, yeah.
What the?
Maybe the most outright.
I would have thought that the last one would have been the most aggressive one, but
No,
okay.
we're coming up to the other small one.
Oh, okay.
Buttons.
Oh,
I thought you said buttons as that's the name you gave it.
No,
It's one of the smaller Colossus.
buttons. Well, I mean that there's a history of that. Hades named his three-headed dog Spot.
wait, really?
Really?
That's effectively what Kerberos means. Yeah.
Oh my God.
The best part is we basically just treat it like a normal dog owner would. Hercules just comes over. Hey, I need to borrow your dog for this quest. Yeah, sure. He needs a good walk.
What is the dog's name?
Kerberos.
Oh my. That's amazing. I
Muffin,
never knew that. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus Christ, man. So, like, how do they know that? Do we have names of other?
Latin translations.
Ah, jeez.
They say Latin's a dead language.
I mean, it is, but
We should do a part in Latin.
no. Oh,
I did take a Latin course in high school.
oh, no.
I've never taken Latin at all.
No, Jesus.
All right,
It's
before
not-
we
it's not
die,
interesting.
we need to do a part in Latin. Pig Latin if we can't do it.
That's not actual Latin, though.
Latin.
No,
And
that's
pigs don't
has
even
Latin in
speak
the
it.
name.
And if we're
No,
ever
I'm
going
pretty
to
sure they
do
do.
it, it needs to be the Rayman Origins commentary. Because they all speak in Pig Latin in that game. You see, that's actually one thing I really like about that game, because you know how... And I guess it's sort of relevant to this game, because this game does the gibberish language thing, too. But there's a lot of those... There's a lot of games, like the... Banjo-Kazooie certainly wasn't the first one to do it, but it was...
Noah might have beaten it to the punch.
It was certainly one of the ones that popularized it, for sure. But,
Yeah.
you know, where they do the, you know, kind of stuff. But I love...
Water's delicious.
And it certainly has it's like certainly iconic of certain platformers, and it's something that people do generally like, you know, I'd say. But I like how in some modern games, they've done things to make it, you know, clear that they're putting in the effort to, you know, effectively fully voice the game, but still have that same sound. And
Yeah,
that's,
because Gravity Rush based their language on French, but it's clearly not French.
yeah, and
So it feels more natural, but it's not a language you can just listen to.
And that's one thing
Foliage.
and that's just one thing I really love about Rayman Origins specifically, is that the entire game is recorded and voice acted, but in Pig Latin. So it still has that goofy platformer vibe, but it's still technically fully voiced, which I feel it goes underappreciated. So yeah, I love that, and I hope we get a third Rayman game in that style eventually.
Whenever Ansel's done with Beyond Good and Evil.
Young and Evil 2, yeah, because Rayman Origins might be my favorite 2D platformer of all time. I love that game. So, yeah, I hope we get another one eventually.
I mean, I'd be down. Just depends on when he gets done with Beyond Good and Evil, which who knows how long that's going to take.
Also, Rayman Legends I think underperformed as well. So,
Well, the problem was they initially wanted to put it on Wii U, and then it got delayed at the last second, which pissed everyone off. And
Yeah.
There was a lot of bad non-game decisions going around with that game at the time.
Yeah. Remember when when Rayman Legends was going to be a Wii U exclusive? Good times. No, I lie. Bad times. That was bad.
That was a bad couple of years for Nintendo.
Ugh.
They were just ahead of the curve.
I mean, to be fair, that's not the first time a third party's done that to Nintendo. Just look at the GameCube.
Well,
Well, no, the only reason why, I'm assuming you're talking about Resident Evil 4.
4,
Specifically.
Beautiful Joe.
You know, well,
The Capcom
those
5.
only happened because they underperformed on the GameCube. They were already out at that point.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
You know,
not. They
that's-
weren't
I-
like saying, "Oh, we're gonna put it as a GameCube exclusive," and then simultaneously released on all platforms. You know.
Yeah, with 4 and Beautiful Joe, I think were marketed as GameCube exclusives. They got out. People loved them, but a lot of people didn't buy it. So it's like, okay, we should probably put it on the PS2 then.
Well, that's You see, the fact
I
that
think
you
the
can
only
play
one of those games.
you can play Resident Evil 4 on your toaster now, so that only
Yeah.
for GameCube thing is just the funniest part of that box art now. It's just like
Yeah.
only on Nintendo Game. No, that's a lie. It is not only on the Nintendo GameCube.
I think the only one of those Capcom games that stayed on the GameCube was Project Number 03, I think it was called.
Wait, what was that?
I don't even remember what that is.
It's like some shooter game that's not very good.
Oh, so they're not missing much.
No.
I suppose.
Because it was like the Capcom 5 or whatever that was supposed to be.
Yeah,
like,
and I know at least one of them got canceled.
So, but the Capcom 4 just doesn't sound as good. So, you know.
No. One has stretchy limbs.
What? Are we?
Isn't the Capcom 4 not the Japanese equivalent of the Fantastic Four?
Oh no! Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about.
We already have Luffy for that.
I thought you were talking about One Piece. So, okay, my bad. I mean, I don't know why you were talking about One Piece because I don't.
I wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, but I don't. Okay, I should rephrase. I don't know why you would be talking about One Piece in that situation, but whatever. So does the horse not want to come in here?
There was water between us in this area.
Oh, okay, and it doesn't like getting its feet wet.
Like actual deep water.
Oh, okay.
Can't swim. Yeah, this is another puzzle, Colossus.
It looks almost identical to the other one. Like,
Yeah, that's a small problem the game has. The small ones kind of look the same.
there's only two of
Well,
them.
they have
right?
relatively similar
Yeah.
body structure. Yeah, the body structure is really similar. It's like, oh, the small one is a dog.
Yeah, this one
This other
seems
one's
to
also
look
a
more
dog.
like a boar, I think is what they were going for. But
A
it's
little
still,
bit, yeah.
unfortunately, pretty similar.
Yeah, so you basically have to make sure it just keeps ramming into things to break its armor over time. Ow. This is another case where there'll be cutscenes, but you can move in them.
Oh, okay.
Which is weird, because it means you can get a head start if you're really good. Come on. Knock the thing over, you stupid.
No, I didn't realize we were playing Last Guardian.
Did
It feels like...
Did either of you guys finish that game?
Never
No.
played it.
Oh, you never played it? Okay.
It got boring fast. I
That's
feel like I can move during this. Yep. Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I at least accomplished one cool thing in this game.
Yeah. Nah, if only your aim was better.
Well, I'm really just trying to get his attention more than anything, so... Running. This is a neat little area that they never kind of explain why it's here.
They say it was a city.
Well, I mean, that's the entire game.
Yeah, but it's just weird because you kind of have the temple and then basically nothing else that resembles civilization. Or then maybe like some decorations. This is like, oh, this is a place that would actually, you know, maybe be a thing.
It's like a giant courtyard, and
Yeah.
and the only reason why we're here is to dismantle it.
Yeah.
I doubt we're ever gonna see a real, like, a Shadow of the Colossus 2. You know, like, I'm sure
No.
that they never
No.
wanna. They're never gonna do that. But
No, it was very much a one and done sort of thing.
yeah, which is, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, but you know, because I think,
Yeah, it's like, because I was going to ask, would you want it?
yeah, like I think the answer would probably be no, for more people. Like, I mean, granted, we'd all still buy it and play it anyway if it did happen.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But
I think if they were going to add anything to this game, they would have done it in this version.
Yeah. And they clearly didn't, so I don't think
Yeah.
they have any plans.
yeah, but I'm thinking of what would be cool to do for if they were to add more things. And part of me is thinking different environment. I think environments would probably be one thing that they could add, is different types of environments. And like you guys said, this is really the only one where that takes place in anything that resembles civilization. So like having one chase you through a building might be cool or something. I don't know.
Yeah, go for that, the mazy parts of it, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think that the closest we're gonna get is like them doing other games in the same universe, like Ico is in. Well, I guess this is in the Ico universe, but whatever. Was Last Guardian connected to those two games in any way, or not?
I don't know.
Or is it one of those where it could be?
I got so bored with that game.
And that's because the thing you were supposed to, the animal
Work with.
wasn't fun to.
No, it just got very tiresome at a point, and I'm just like, I can't be bothered.
Okay, that's a shame though, because people were excited about that game for so long, and
Well, because it was the follow-up to this game.
and I also remember that when they finally revealed it at, what was it, like E3 2016, 15, whatever it was, people were so excited to finally find out that this game wasn't dead.
Dead.
Because it was assumed dead. When did this game come out? Like 2006? 5? Like, that game was
What,
considered...
Shadow of the Colossus?
Yeah, Shadow of the Colossus
That
came
was
out.
2005.
Yeah, so... Like, the last time people had heard news on The Last Guardian was, like, what, 8 years before that E3?
It came out.
So, I remember that E3, people were like, oh my god, The Last Guardian is finally back from the dead. But then the game comes out and nobody cares. It just... I don't know, I felt bad, considering that this game has such a legacy to it that I kind of just assumed that people would be as much over The Last Guardian as they were for this, and it didn't happen. And I don't know. Like I don't know. How
I mean,
much sense I'm
it
making.
sucks, but it happens.
Yeah. And you know what? I guess I should have had the opposite expectations, considering that you're never going to live up to a game with as big of a legacy as this, I think, as well. I think that's... Because I'm thinking of other games with similar problems, like... Smash Brothers Brawl is the first one that comes to mind. Melee was so popular that even though the hype train around Brawl was ginormous, there was no way that that game was going to live up to... you know, the insane standards that so many people had for Smash Brothers after...
Yeah, but you also have to realize, though, that despite what competitive players think of Brawl, it was still a rousing success, and it's still considered one of the greatest games on the Wii.
That's true, yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it lived up to the hype and then some.
Yeah, and I mean, I
'Cause I don't-
certainly think so, but people are just very
Yeah.
negative about it.
Like, I
on
don't
the
hate
internet.
Brawl. Like gameplay-wise, I prefer Melee, sure, but I'd be an idiot to think that Brawl was terrible because it's not Melee. That's stupid. And I think the majority thought that. The problem
No,
is,
John,
I think,
it's not
is that
Melee,
if-
so it's awful. It's the worst game of all
okay,
time.
well, calm down.
Okay.
Come there. No. I think the one thing that you need to be careful of as a game developer is announcing something when it is clearly nowhere near ready to come out. You should be dead.
Yes.
That landed right on top of your head.
I'm
But,
fine.
You know, a thing that, you know, I'm actually sort of, I'm worried a bit about Kingdom Hearts 3 because that game is 13 years in the making, I would say. It was announced a long time ago, finally got confirmed that it went gold like a few weeks ago at the time of this recording. And there's a part of me that's thinking that it's going to go the 15 route, where we're going to get a technically incomplete game, and we're just going to get
DLC
additional
pack after
DLC for it
DLC.
later. Yeah.
I think that's worse in the case of Kingdom Hearts specifically because Square has such a history of doing that. You know, where
Yeah.
where projects come out and then they are announced and then they're delayed and then they're delayed again, you know. Like the last 3 Final Fantasies had that, basically, you know. Like, Final Fantasy XIV had to be completely reimagined. Final Fantasy 15 basically got completely reimagined. Final Fantasy 13 has, you know... so, yeah, basically, Square in particular is really bad about that. Enix, on the other hand, mwah, keep doing what you're doing, guys. Beautiful.
Well, you know...
And by Enix, I mean just Dragon Quest, because they like to pretend, because that's the only one that made money, and so they pretend that all the other one exists. Sorry,
Square...
sorry, ActRaiser fans.
Well, no. Well,
fans.
it's really more just Square / Nomura. Because the rest of Square seems pretty fine on getting stuff released in a reasonable amount of time.
That's true. Although I am still a little bit bitter that they pretend that the rest of their Enix properties just straight up don't exist. Because people would love a Soul Eater. What's the name of that trilogy? Like that Terranigma and Soul Edge. No, not Soul Edge is Soul Edge is
Soul
Calibur.
Yeah.
Soul Blazer.
Soul Blazer. That's it. Thank you.
And Illusion of Gaia.
Yeah, like people would want something like that, you know. Like, but no, they're not. They don't. The only Enix property that seems to have survived is Dragon Quest, and that's because that prints the money in Japan.
Where's my ActRaiser 3?
I would take, dude. I would take an ActRaiser 3 in a heartbeat, especially if they brought back all the weird sim stuff, because that actually seemed like a really interesting way to, like, frame a game, an action game like that, you know. Because people seem to not care about ActRaiser 2 because it doesn't have the weird sim stuff in it. So, you know. Yeah, but no, Square needs to get their crap together. Or I suppose
Nomura needs to get his crap together.
Or at least don't... I won't blame it solely on Nomura, because I think it's just more of a corporate decision.
Well, I mean...
It seems to happen to mostly his projects, though, is the thing.
Well, because...
here's the thing is that, and I know we're at the end of the video, we've basically taken auteur theory, which is the idea that the director in a movie or a game is the main creative vision.
Yeah, I know.
And
Sakurai is the greatest indie developer.
Yeah. It's so we've taken, like, it's...
I'm not saying it's entirely Nomura's fault, but it seems to happen to most of his projects, which leads me to believe there's at least some aspect of him that's also a problem, not specifically a Square one.
Yeah, because you have to remember that we're worried about this happening to Kingdom Hearts 3, but the Final Fantasy VII Remake just got delayed. Is already coming out in like 2022 or whatever the hell it is. So, yeah.